And welcome, rugby fans, to Rugby 411. I'm your host. My name is Joshua Shibata, and this video is focusing on the big Rugby Sevens tournament that's going down this weekend. Rugby Sevens Collegiate Championship. This is going down this weekend, Saturday, May 14th, and Sunday, May 15th. A lot of huge. If you are a college sports fan that loves college football, basketball, baseball, and you want to get into rugby at the college level, this is one of the events to watch. Now, don't get confused. There are two huge sevens collegiate tournaments going on. This is not to be confused with the Collegiate Rugby Championship that's going down later in the month. This is, again, the Rugby Sevens Collegiate Championship. I know it can get very confusing, but just know that there's two, which just is great for us rugby fans because we get two amazing tournaments to watch. This is the first one that, again, is happening this weekend, Saturday, May 14th, Sunday, May 15th, in Georgia at the Kennesaw State University field, Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Lots of amazing teams are going to be in this tournament. I'm going to give you, as always, the 411 of this information of this tournament, how you can watch it, the teams are involved in it, the format, all the information. It's going to be a fun tournament. Highly recommend. Again, if you love college sports and you want to get into rugby, this is the way to do it. Now, first of all, let's break it down. This is Rugby Sevens, so not to be confused with the normal game of rugby, which some people like to call Rugby 15s. Rugby Sevens, I always tell people, is rugby for people with ADHD. It's a much faster pace, shorter games. You only have 7 members of a team of a side instead of your usual 15. So 7 against 7, but it's played on the same size field, 100 meters, same size field as a regular rugby game, just less people. That means more open space, more chances of scoring. There are tries that go back and forth. It is constant scoring almost all the time. Plus, the beauty is, instead of your usual 2 40-minute halves, it's only 2 7-minute halves with a 1-minute break in between. So literally the games go by like that. So when I was first getting into rugby, this was a lot easier to watch and understand. It's also easier to understand the rules of the game a little bit better because there's less people to keep track of or to interfere with your view of the ball. So it's a lot easier to understand the penalties and the way the game plays because there's just a lot less things to look at. So again, if you want to give rugby a try, highly recommend, and especially if you love college sports, highly recommend checking this out, Rugby Sevens Collegiate Championship. And the beauty is, it's going to be accessible on NBC, CNBC, and the Peacock Network. I'll speak more about the Peacock Network a little bit later, but man, if you're a rugby fan, and I would highly recommend getting the Peacock Network. Very affordable, and it has a lot of rugby on it, not just this collegiate tournament. So, going down again, 2 days of action, Saturday, May 14th, Sunday, May 15th, and literally it is the whole day because there are a lot of teams involved. Both men's and women's teams have been invited to this tournament. It is a huge tournament broken down between 3 different divisions. Because again, just like in most college sports, there are different levels of competition in colleges. Not all colleges are created equal. Some teams have actual teams that are competitive in NCAA, technically NCAA teams, while others are just club teams. So they don't have as much funding, not necessarily recognized as collegiate teams by the university, but they still compete. So we have 3 different levels. We have the gold, we have the red, and the blue. The gold is your more recognizable Division I, Division II teams. Your red level is kind of a little bit of the lower tiers, so kind of like a Division II, while your blue is more of your small colleges, club sports. So it just makes everything fair for the teams competing against each other. You don't have a weak club team going against a top-ranked Division I team. So it just makes it fair for everybody. But again, lots of teams to cover, and if you're into college sports, you'll recognize some of these teams, and you might have a team in there, I know I do, that you will root for because you might have been to that school or you're a fan of that school. So let's break it down. First, let's go into the men's. We have the men's gold division. Made up of 16 teams, 4 teams in 4 different pools. Pool number A has Arizona, Clemson, Penn State, Lindenwood. Lindenwood, a huge rugby school, especially at the 15s level and the 7s level. Pool B, Davenport, Navy, St. Mary's of California, who just recently, their 15s team was in the final of the 15s college rugby championship. Santa Clara, up north of California. Pool C has Central Washington, Ohio State, Texas A&M, and UCLA. And then Pool D, Air Force, Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, a school out in Central California. Indiana, and Life University. Life University, another powerhouse of a rugby program. Each of the teams in each pool play against each other, play the teams in each pool, and then the top 2 teams of each pool moves on to the quarterfinals, while the bottom 2 teams of each pool goes to play for what is considered the plate or the shield or the consolation bracket. So lots of games to be played. Every team gets to play at least 6 games throughout the 2 days. So again, lots of action to cover. Men's red division, again, actually this is made up of 6, 10, 14 teams instead of 16. 2 pools of 4, 2 pools of 3. Pool number A, Long Beach State, Nebraska, Sam Houston State out of Texas, Santa Cruz out of California. Pool B, Harvard, Iowa State, hometown Kennesaw State, and San Diego College. Pool C is Oregon State, Stanford, Tennessee, while Pool D has Florida, South Carolina, and Western Washington. So some, you name schools that you would recognize if you're into college sports. Some powerhouses in other sports, but they do have rugby representatives as well. And then in the blue division, this is the one I'm going to pay attention to. Pool A, this is, again, kind of the smaller colleges, club teams, not necessarily Division 1 or 2 teams. Pool A has Furman, Northern Colorado, USC, fight on. And Pool B, Memphis, Trinity University, and Valdosta State. So in this pool, for Pool B, each team plays the 2 teams that are in their pool, and then they'll play a cross team from a different pool. The top 2 teams are going to play in the first semifinal match, while the bottom 4 teams play in quarterfinal games, semifinal game, and then the winner out of that plays the winner of the top 2 teams for the championship. So again, lots of rugby, lots of games. You got to think about it this way. When each game will last at most 20 minutes, that's a lot of games you can fill in throughout a whole day of rugby action. Moving on to the women's division, women's gold. We have 3 teams of 4, AIC, Central Washington, Harvard, Penn State. Pool B, Brown, Dartmouth, who, again, powerhouse of a college university. Lindenwood, who their women's 15s are just recently won the championship. Westchester, Pool C, has Army, Life University, another rugby powerhouse. Queen's University of Charlotte, and Sacred Hearts. In the red division for the women's, 2 pools of 4 teams each. We have Air Force, Davenport, Northeastern, Virginia Tech. Pool B is Navy, Princeton, Stanford, and UConn. And then in the blue division for the women's, it's just 1 pool of 4. Basically, they're going to play a best of round robin. We have Kennesaw State, the host team, St. Mary's of California, and San Jose State. So, I'm sorry, that first team, Georgia, Kennesaw State, St. Mary of California, and San Jose State. So, again, lots of really great teams if you're in college sports, names that you recognize. So these aren't just these random schools. And again, this will be a fun day of college rugby. Now, I'll admit to everybody, I'm not super familiar with the college level of rugby, especially sevens. Sevens is definitely a new territory for myself as well. But I love rugby in general. I love sevens. So this would be great to see. Plus 2 with Rugby Sevens really taking off in America. We have the Rugby Sevens national team that's competing right now in the HSBC World Sevens Tour. Which again, you can watch that on the Peacock channel, and again, I'll go into that. We also have the upcoming Sevens Rugby World Cup that will be in South Africa in August. So, and I mean in September. You have the potential for all these college kids to impress on a huge platform and get picked up to possibly compete and make the national team, both the men's and the women's. The women's team is competing as well. It's a really great chance for these college kids to start their careers, and again, for you as a fan to get on the ground level, to watch these men and women play before they become professional stars. So you could say you saw them first at college. I mean, that's, to be honest, why I feel a lot of people are into college sports, because they want to see these stars before they become stars. And this is a great opportunity to do it. And again, you can watch this all on national TV, CBS, NBC, CNBC, and the Peacock Network. And again, the Peacock Network is an amazing app. I have it because it provides rugby. Not only do you have the Rugby Sevens Collegiate Championship on there, you have the before-mentioned HSBC World Sevens Series, all the World Sevens events. USA team, women's and men, compete on those events. You can watch it all. You can watch it all video on demand on the Peacock Network. They also have Premiership Rugby on there. You can watch it. That's one of the best competitions in Europe. They have the European Rugby Cup, which is one of the biggest tournaments in Europe, all on the Peacock Network. I mean, it's amazing. All the stuff you can get on that Peacock Network. Not only the TV shows, the movies, if you're into WWE wrestling, WWE Network is on the Peacock. Rugby as well, all for a very affordable price. It is a steal. I highly recommend getting it. But again, if you don't want to watch it on the Peacock Network, you don't want to buy the app, you can watch it on network television, NBC, CNBC. The broadcast starts Saturday, May 14th, early in the morning for the Pacific Coast people. For the West Coast people, starts at 7 a.m. but goes all the way to 3 p.m. on the Peacock Network, both Saturday and Sunday, May 14th and 15th. On CNBC, it will be aired on CNBC Saturday from 11 to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then on Sunday, 11 to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on CNBC. And then on NBC for the championship games, that will be Sunday, May 15th from 1 to 3 p.m. So again, lots of rugby. You can watch on both CNBC, NBC, and the Peacock Network. And again, this is going to be a huge, huge tournament. All these schools, I mean, again, not schools that you've never heard of, but Ohio State, Texas A&M, Arizona, Clemson, Penn State, UCLA, USC, Nebraska, Harvard, Stanford, Princeton. I mean, every school you could think of is in this tournament. So this is a huge tournament. So again, hope you get the opportunity to watch it. At least give it a chance. And Sevens is a wonderful, wonderful sport to watch. I do feel it's a little bit more digestible for casual rugby fans than a full game of 15s. But that's how I got into rugby, was by watching Sevens. And then from Sevens, I transitioned to the 15. I can't get enough of it, either one. So again, hopefully you guys enjoy. This is a big weekend for college rugby sevens. The Rugby Sevens Collegiate Championship, again, Saturday and Sunday, May 14th to the 15th. If you want more information on it, if you're in Georgia and you want to get tickets to go, there's still tickets available at the Kennesaw State University's Fifth Third Bank Stadium. You can go to www.r7, the number 7, cc.rugby, r, the number 7, cc.rugby, for more ticket information and all the FAQ about the event. Again, you can watch it on the Peacock Network, CNBC, NBC. It's going to be a great event. Hopefully USC wins their division. Fight on once again. And again, thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the pitch.